everybody, welcome to the Planning Committee. I'm sorry that not everybody's got a seat there. Can everyone hear me okay? Can you hear me better now? Yes. Okay, that's great. Just to say welcome to the Planning Committee. I'm sorry that everybody hasn't got a seat. We're quite a busy committee this evening. I'd like to welcome back the members of the committee from last year and welcome to new members of the Planning Committee. My name is Councillor Anita Leech and I'm the chair of the committee. My role this evening is to ensure that the committee runs smoothly, having regard to procedure, behaviour and ethics. To explain who the rest of the people on the tables here tonight are, to my immediate right is the Councillor Solicitor, who will give advice to the committee on any procedural or legal matters that might arise. To my left are the Council's planning officers, highway engineer and environmental health officer, who will present the application this evening and give any technical advice to the committee which may be sought. The rest of the people who you see down both sides of the tables are the elected members, who will consider the applications this evening and make the decisions. Before each application is considered, there will be a short presentation by the planning officers. In the event that an application has received a qualifying petition signed by 25 signatures or more, one representative of the petition will be invited to address the committee in support of the petition for up to 5 minutes. If a petitioner addresses the committee, then the applicant or their agent will be invited to make representations to the committee in support of their application, again for up to 5 minutes. However, if a petitioner has not addressed the committee, then the applicant or their agent will not be invited to make any representations. A ward councillor can address the committee in relation to an application. The ward councillor may speak on behalf of the residents. However, once the ward councillor has returned to the public gallery, they may not return to take part in any debate that may be followed by the committee. The application will then be open to debate and discussion by members of the planning committee, who will then make a decision on the application before them. If a site visit is requested and approved by the committee, then that matter will not be discussed this evening and will be discussed at a subsequent planning meeting. Could I ask the members for approval for the minutes on pages 1 to 12?
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you. Are there any declarations of interest? Are there any requests for site visits? Ian?
Item 9, application 00547 from Farmers Arms in North. I'd like to request a site visit members to consider the issues of parking and disturbance and neighbours for this application.
David?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I'd like to ask for a site visit on number 8, which is Ashbourne House, the item in HESWALL. There's quite a lot of controversy associated with this, including the 68 signature petition, and I believe the members of the committee do need to see the site before they make a decision on this controversial issue.
Okay, any others? Okay, so we've been asked for agenda item 8, Ashbourne House, Mount Avenue, and agenda item 9, Farmers Arms, Conervative Road. Are the committee happy to approve that? Okay. Okay, so for the members of the public who are here for agenda item 8, Ashbourne House, or agenda item 9, Farmers Arms, we won't be discussing that this evening. So if you would like to leave now, then you're happy to do so. But by all means, stay if you wish. You've got nothing better to do. Okay, for those who haven't got a seat, if they want to move forward now, there are some empty seats in the front. Okay, if we can go to agenda item 4, which is pages 13 to 22, land to the east side of Kinloss Road. Mark, you could have a presentation, please.
Thank you, Chair. Item 4 is a request for site visit on number 8, which is Ashbourne House, the item in HESWALL. Item 4 is a request for site visit on number 8, which is Ashbourne House, the item in HESWALL. sought for the erection of 19 apartments that would be divided in 2 blocks. Block A, the larger of the 2 blocks, would accommodate 14 apartments in total, 12 2-bed apartments and 2 1-bed. Block B would accommodate 5 apartments, 4 of which would be 2-bedroomed and 1 would be 1-bed. Both blocks would be a mix of 2 and 3 storey, with the second floor accommodation being contained within the roof space. A maximum height of some 9 metres is proposed, with the parapet eaves level measuring a little over 6 metres in height. The council would normally seek to achieve interface distances of 21 metres, where the principal elevations of dwellings looking directly onto each other. That distance would increase by an additional 2 metres for every additional storey proposed above 2-storey. Therefore, to ensure satisfactory privacy distances, the council would look to achieve a distance of 23 metres minimum at the point where the blocks become 3-storey. A minimum distance of 26 metres is achieved between those 2-storey dwellings on Kinloss Road opposite and the 3-storey elements of the proposed development. Distances of 23 metres are achieved between the 2-storey elements. Therefore, the council's guidelines for privacy interfaces are met. The predominant land use in the area is residential, with the bulk of the house type being 2-storey detached and semi-detached properties. However, on the opposite side of the roundabout, due east of the site, is a large block of apartments in a 3-storey and 4-storey mix. It is not considered that these 2 blocks of apartments, which have been sensitively designed to seek to use a mix of materials to add depth and character to the external elevations, would look out of character in this residential area. The land is allocated as primarily residential in the UDP, and as such, new housing is acceptable in principle on this site. The apartments are proposed as 100% affordable and would contribute towards the council's housing figures. 11 parking spaces within the site would be dedicated for the apartments. A further 9 spaces would be provided along the site frontage. Whilst these could not be dedicated solely for the use of the residents within the development, as these spaces would be within the adopted highway and therefore available for use by the wider locality. It's not considered that parking or highway safety as a whole would be sufficiently inadequate as to warrant a refusal of the planning permission, having regards to the council's own parking standards and the national planning policy for framework. The site is within easy distance of main public transport routes, which will allow for use of buses and other forms of sustainable transport. The development is considered to be in keeping with the principles of the national planning policy framework and policy HS4 of the Wirral Unitary Development Plan, and is recommended for approval. There is a qualifying petition of objection.
As we do have a qualifying petition, would the lead petitioner like to come forward to speak? No. Is there a ward councillor that would like to speak on this? Thank you, Tom. If you could just state your name and your address for the minutes, please.
Thank you, Councillor Thomas and Greasby family and everyone. I'd like to thank the committee and explain that I'm here to represent the overwhelming objections from residents, all quite a few are behind me, and thank those of the planning committee came to the site earlier this week. I do range given in SPD2, the application would have to be between 8 and 13 dwellings. There is no general residential area adjacent to this block with a very high density of which is in the proposal. I don't think you can actually take Croft as an example either, as this is separated by the roundabout and is for sheltered housing, not general housing. 3.3 of SPD2 states to promote sustainable growth and social inclusion as required by national policy PPS1, PPG3 and RSS policy PP4. The local planning authority will expect major dwellings of 10 or more flats or schemes with a density above 50 dwellings per hectare to be located 400 metres or safe walking distance of a key town centre or traditional suburban centre. Proposals in excess of 50 dwellings per hectare, which this is the equivalent of, are beyond 400 metres from the above centres and would unlikely receive planning permission. In 3.6, walking distances should be measured over practical and safe and well-lit routes without any significant barriers to pedestrians, including those with disabilities, such a lack of drop curbs or pavements less than 1.35 metres wide and a lack of a formal crossing where there is heavy traffic. This development, no matter what use is used, whether the distance is from Block A or Block B, is over 500 metres to the local amenities such as Sainsbury's, the health centre, library, etc. Every route involves crossing one or more junctions that do not have a drop curb. Chair, I could go on to discuss the concerns about parking issues, the design of the development, not having any identification for a particular client group, as should be outlined in HS6 on affordable housing, and particularly note that the external detailing nature of the building means a blending with the local area and don't add a positive new style to the area. I'd just like to leave it there though and hope the committee can agree that there are valid reasons to refuse this application and would request that you do so. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to open this up to our committee for any questions. Yeah.
Thank you. Welcome. Councillor Anderson referred to SPD2 regarding density of design. The report only makes reference to windows. Can the officers advise on the particular point that Councillor Anderson made?
I'm just going to ask Ian to repeat that question. Sorry.
Okay, the point that Councillor Anderson made regarding SPD2 and the density of the design hasn't been addressed in the report as far as I can see. So I'm asking the planning officers to outline an explanation of SPD2 to the committee now.
Thank you, through you, Chair. Supplementary planning document 2 was adopted by the Council in June 2007. And that had reference to densities in that because it largely followed guidance that was set out in the old planning policy guidance note 3, which was a government-based document which also set out density maximums and minimums. Densities were largely written out in planning policy by the National Planning Policy Framework, which was introduced into planning policy in March 2013. So therefore, the weight that we can afford to densities is largely diminished now, given that the National Planning Policy replaces policies that are considered to be outdated in terms of being adopted before the National Planning Policy Framework. So the weight that we can give densities set out in the SPD is very limited now.
Ian?
It's not a question, it's mainly a comment, if that's allowed, or you still take questions.
You can certainly make comments as well.
Okay. But, I mean, obviously we went on the site visit, and I can understand the concerns of neighbours and residents alike around that area. Certainly did notice the sort of speed, whiplash-like sort of driving when people come off that roundabout. And I would seek some assurance from the highways engineer about that. But that junction seems to be an issue that needs to be looked at from a highways perspective rather than planning. The question is, would a development of this number of properties add significantly to the highways issue? So I'm beginning to, in my own mind, look at what the real planning issues are on this side. The real planning issue has been sorted out a long time ago. People don't know. We go through a long process to create what we call the Unitary Development Plan, which allocates usage for all land in the Wirral. Unitary Development Plan and the subsequent local development plan has been developed, and at no time has this land been designated other than for, it's not protected in any special way. So if people believed it was, it never has been, and is available for development. Which in Wirral is quite a unique case, because we do tend to try and protect our green belt with some discipline and some vigour. That means then other pieces of land then become more attractive for development. So the case for development has already been made, so there will be development on that site. I think the only planning issue I've seen in the whole list of things in there is this issue about density over development. And that is a judgment call. I think that case is weakened when you look at similar developments in other similar previously open spaces in and around the roundabout, and I think Tom made reference to his. So unless someone comes up with real valid reasons for refusal that could be defended, I'm inclined, and I'll put the cards on the table, I'm inclined when I've seen a piece of land, its location and its unitary development plan designation, is that this is part of the thrust now to build more properties, to build more of this type of properties, because these are the popular properties, since all sorts of different legislation have come through and different lifestyles are living. So in terms of the national planning guidance, in terms of our local planning guidance, there seems little or difficult reasons to enter for refusal. But as I said, I look forward to other people's contribution. But the usage of the land has been deemed a long time ago. And perhaps in hindsight, people should have moved quicker or been more protective of that piece of land as these plans were developed. But the case for development has already been made. There's an existing application for 4 properties on there. So my issue is around overdevelopment and so on. But I would like some reassurance that irrespective of whatever development does or doesn't go through on this, that the highways people would look at that sort of speed and effect on the end of Foulkes where this will. So my final question is, can the highways engineer see if there are any comments?
Thank you through you, Chair. I've looked at this application in terms of the increase in traffic generation over and above what's already approved on that site. And I've come to the view that there won't be sufficient increase in the generation from this site to enable us to provide a sustainable grounds to inject on road safety.
Thank you. Stuart.
Thanks. So just return to the issue of parking. Clearly, when we first looked at the report and the plans, it envisaged that the bays outside of the planned development were included in what the development was claiming to be parking associated with the flats. And they'd given us a number, which is repeated in the report, of 19 car parking spaces associated for 20 flats. Since then, it's clear that actually there's only 11 car parking spaces that can justifiably be associated with the flats. Given that the roads are so narrow, it would strike me that there's likely to be a degree of overspill from the development, the bulk of which in 16 out of 19, the officer pointed out in the report, are 2-bedroom flats. I think to say they won't have 2 cars, which work on the basis maybe of 1 per flat 19, which is what the developer attempted to claim, but is unable to claim as part of the development. It strikes me that our own policy on parking, SPD4, talks specifically about problems associated with parking strikes me that on-street parking in Hendon Way there or around the corner in Westminster, the roads are so that are very narrow. Some of the houses there have converted, if you like, their front to provide their own off-street parking, some haven't. And in some areas of the existing estate, bays have been introduced to assist with parking demand in the area. And I would just contend that the introduction of another 10, 12 cars associated with flat development could lead to the overspill that our parking policies are seeking to prevent. I don't know if people have a comment on that, but certainly that wouldn't be the case with the extent plan permission, which I think is still good and in place for bungalows, which have their own off-street parking, and would have contributed to the need, if you like, for bungalows. I hear what Steve says about needing flats, but I think the last document of housing need that I looked at, a couple of years old, I accept, we were looking at 2 or 3 bedroom houses as being the sort of housing we need to encourage. And it strikes me that when there's a wash, if you like, with 1 or 2 bedroom flats, it seems to be that people want to build unless you need housing, but potentially you need bungalows that we've already given permission for.
Thank you, Stuart. I think that the only thing I would say to the committee is that we have actually tried to develop things on parking spaces before. We've actually lost on appeal. You know, for the reasons that you're outlining there, Kenilworth Gardens is one that springs to mind. But you know, so we have lost on appeal over parking issues before. Is there anybody else would like to say anything? David?
Yeah, thanks, Chair. Obviously, I was another one who went to the site visit on Tuesday, and I would remind those members who may not have been on the committee at the time, we also had a site visit prior to the approval which we made for the Fordra developments. And the decision date was the 1st of November 2013, which is nearly 3 years ago now. And it was extremely marginal at the time whether we felt that even 4 dwellings would be an appropriate solution on that site. Since then, obviously, we've had this application that has been brought before us. My own view, for what it's worth, is that the roundabout itself forms a natural barrier from left to right, as you look at it on the plan, and the properties on the left-hand side are quite clearly exclusively, not 90% or 95%, exclusively 2-storey. And the roundabout, which is very large, as you have seen from the site visit, actually produces a natural sort of change of boundary, if you like, between what is ostensibly a 2-storey development, which is the old RAF houses from the West Kirby RAF station, and what on the other side is a couple of larger properties, quite some distance away from this particular development. Having looked at the site in detail on both occasions, the first time and the second time we have now, we haven't had any plans put up. But I mean, if we were to compare 4 houses with what the proposal here is, a couple of massive, and I use the word advisedly, massive multi-storey blocks, my own perception of those from my construction background is that A, they're out of character, B, it's overdevelopment, and C, as a direct result of them being located on that site, it's going to be unneighbourly for those people who currently live adjacent to them. I think it's a totally inappropriate development. I don't think it's right for the area. I totally accept what Councillor Foulkes has said, that there was a perception originally that this was Greenbelt's land, which of course we turned over 2.5 years ago. We established the fact that it was in fact scheduled for residential development, whereas the part on the other side to the north of the roundabout is clearly Greenbelt. So put that on one side. It's quite clear that it is allocated for residential development. There is no argument about that. The question is whether what is being proposed is way over the top. And personally, I was slightly concerned about the previous one that we approved. This one, I have no concern about at all. It is way, way over the top. And I do not believe site visit, I think we were all made aware character of people, for the demography of the people who are going to be there. It's inappropriate from other connections as well in terms of access to Greasby. But that's not the point. My point is, it's out of character, it's overdevelopment, and it's unneighbourly. I'd like to hear what others may like to say about that, but I'm quite prepared to offer a reason for refusal, which I'm prepared to submit to the committee for as a move when everybody else, if there is anybody else, has said what they want to say.
Thanks, David. I think Treena wants to say
Councillor Elderton, I'd just have to, I'd have to say that the demographics of the people that might be living in that accommodation could be young families. We have a massive housing crisis in Wirral, and they are in need, desperate need of 2-bedroom flats. And so, you know, I think what you just said is really outrageous. We do have a housing crisis. These are 100% affordable homes that contribute to the council's web plan on housing. It has met the Wirral UDP, and on that basis, I think I'd have to, you know, agree with this application. Sorry.
Phil?
Thank you, Chair. It's mentioned a number of times that the large properties across the roundabout aren't to be considered. I just want some advice from the officers as to whether or not that's the case.
You can just see it here at the bottom of the right-hand corner of the plan. Councillor Elderton is right in the sense that the roundabout does provide a natural separation between the four corners of the site. This as we've discussed, has already got an extant consent for 4 dwellings on there. This site is vacant, but over here, as the land rises up, there is a block of 3- and 4-storey apartments on there, and it does contribute towards the character of the area, the wider area, not the immediate area now, because they're immediately opposite the site. But when you move away from the site, it does contribute to the wider character of the area.
Is there anybody else who wants to say?
Thank you. Just for the avoidance of doubt, I'm concerned about your challenging of what I've said in that sense, because I'm certainly not against affordable housing for anybody. In fact, I have been instrumental in supporting major affordable housing projects in West Kirby, which is Bridgecourt, against enormous opposition. I supported that, and I supported 2 developments in Hoylake, both where I live in Hoylake and where I represent in West Kirby and Thurston. So please don't get any idea that I'm against affordable housing. I'm not. I am totally in favour of it. What I'm not in favour of is changing the character of an area inappropriately when you don't need to. Obviously, that's a matter of opinion, quite clearly, but I just wanted that to go on record. I have been one of the advocates of providing affordable housing across the borough. It's just that in this particular location, bearing in mind the difficulty or the problem we had last time when we approved nearly 4 houses being exempted, even though the committee didn't like it, this is just a bridge too far. I'm certainly not opposing your aspiration to get more affordable housing for people who need it. I just want to put that on record before we say anything more.
Okay, David, there's nobody... Oh, sorry, Alice.
two-storey dwellings on the opposite side of Kinloss Road are anything between 23 metres and in excess of 30 metres away from the proposed three-storey, two and three-storey apartments. The distance that the apartment block on the opposite side of the roundabout is about 50 metres away. So it's only double what the distances on the other side of the road are. So in terms of the makeup and the character of the wider area, it does contribute to the street to the character of the area, irrespective of the fact that it's separated by a roundabout.
Well, I think, through you, Chair, I think it's separated by a massive main road, and people on one side don't necessarily feel related to the people on the other side. That's a matter of opinion. I totally accept that. In my opinion, I've known that area for 50 odd years, and I've seen how it's developed, so, please give me that amount of knowledge of the area. Anyway, enough of all that. Nobody else seems to want to speak, so I would like to put forward, if I may, Chair, a reason for refusal. The proposed development, by virtue of its overall height, scale, siting and appearance, would result in an over-dominant and visually obtrusive form of development, particularly having regard to the adjacent two-storey dwellings, which would constitute an unneighbourly form of development that would appear incongruous in the street scene and would neither respect nor relate well to the existing pattern of development on Kinloss Road, Hendon Walk and Pump Lane. The proposal is therefore contrary to policy HS4 of the adopted Wirral Unitary Development Plan, as well as the principles of the National Policy Planning Framework. I move that reason for refusal.
Thank you, David. So Councillor Elderton has moved refusal. Is there a second now? Thank you, Bruce. All those in favour of refusal? Those against? That's lost. So we... Sorry? Yeah. Okay, Denise, you moved approval.
We were talking with them while he was talking. That's disgusting, that.
I'll second that, Chair.
Thank you. All those in favour of the application as outlined by the officers and the conditions laid out? Against? That's carried. If we can now move to agenda item 5, which is on page 23, and then I'll see the presentation.
Disgraced private conversations going on. I didn't even hear anything at all. It was absolutely dreadful.
Thank you for your efforts.
Chair, could you tell us what the vote was, the final approval vote?
The vote was 7-6.
7-6. Thank you.
Shame on you.
Yes.
Okay, if we can recommence the comments to agenda item 5.
If you want to make a comment to me, you have these to make it to me. Well, we're here to make decisions, Sam. I made it in the best interest of the whole community. I'm sure you did. Thank you for your confidence.
Okay, if we can now move to agenda item 5, page 23, please. Matthew, could we have the presentation?
Thank you to you, Chair. Planning permission is sought for a single-storey rear extension, a single-storey front extension and internal alterations. The internal alterations do not require the benefit of planning permission. The front elevation will be extended by 1.6 metres at ground floor to allow for a larger front lounge and the provision of a porch. To the rear, the elevation will be extended across the full width of the house at ground floor level. The extension will project by 4 metres along the north-facing elevation, stepping extending into 3 metres where the extension is adjacent to the adjoining property at 23 Downham Road North. This ensures the extension complies with the Council's policy HS11 for house extensions. The sloped roof also minimises any potential impacts on the neighbouring property. The proposals have been significantly reduced in scale from those that were first submitted, removing the 2-storey extension originally proposed at the rear. The proposals are compliant with policy HS11 on house extensions, and with the changes secured, they are now considered to be acceptable. They are recommended for approval, and there is no petition or objection in relation to these proposals.
Is there a ward council like to speak on this? For the subcommittee, please. The officer's recommendation is to approve. You have to move them. This is an SDA application.
Can we just clarify the legal advice?
Yeah.
Because I'm feeling this has been going on for years. Is this against the law for a member of any member of the committee who might know the applicants to move approval or otherwise?
There is no reason why the Labour Group can't move to on SDA, but it's moving approval is always down to the head. So it's decision.
Individuals.
We don't move approval on a colleague.
As I understand, for the avoidance, any avoidance of doubt or whatever, a councillor, a Labour councillor, is involved in the company SDA. I don't need to go into names. And I've always been told that public perspective is used to use the phrase, what would the man on double-decker bus say? Would it look right if Labour Group were consistently or approving for something that has a fairly distant connection? And we have over the years developed for a matter of forms that we will listen to the application fairly and squarely and hearing, but for the sake of public perception, that's the cause. That's why it happens, and I'm all for public understanding why that thing seems to happen and all just happens. And that's why it is. And for newer members as well.
Okay, well, we've had the solicitor's advice in relation to this, and I'll ask the question again. Is there a move for this application? No? Okay, is there a move for this application?
I'll move then, go on.
Thank you. Is there a second for this application? Thank you, Treena. The officer's recommendation is to approve this subject to the conditions listed. All those in favour of the application? That's unanimous. That's carried. Thank you very much. Okay, so we can move to agenda item 6, pages 27 to 30, which is 32 BERYL Road. You can have a presentation, please.
Again, this application was subject of a member's site visit on Tuesday. Planning permission is sought for the retention of a front boundary wall together with changes to the elevation fronting BERYL Road. Planning permission was originally sought for the retention of this wall in March 2015, but was refused under delegated powers. The applicant sought to make some amendments to the wall, principally by introducing rendered panels to the BERYL Road facing side of the wall, with the aim of breaking up the solid mass of the wall, which measures between 1.8 metres and 2.8 metres in height, and a little over 17 metres in length. A large sliding solid gate has also been installed, which measures 1.8 metres by 4 metres in length. That second application was also refused by Planning Committee in December last year. This most recent application again looks to introduce the rendered
My name is Stuart Kelly. I live at 29 BERYL ROAD, opposite the house in question. I would like to thank all those who came to the site visit on Tuesday, and I'm sure they will agree with me when I go through these points. This is the third retrospective application. Our third petition against